So the question's been asked a few times about me and to me, and that is, do I believe in demigods? And did demigods exist? And do they still exist? So as I mentioned many times in my videos, I'm a follower and believer in Seleucus and his work of Seleucus on the gods and the world. And in his work, he says that the gods have always existed. Every god you can think of has existed before even man, even demigods. And myth was created to teach lessons. And if you read that, he speaks on how myth was used to illustrate points and lessons and morals, and it wasn't meant to be taken literal. Which is why we don't see satyr skeletons, why we don't see hydra skeletons. Cyclops skeletons turned out to be elephant skulls. If you look at an elephant skull, it looks like a cyclops skull because where the trunk is, it looks like a giant hole. And a lot of people believe that's where people got the idea for the Cyclops. So the myth is the point, is to tell the story. But the gods in the myths existed before man. So with that said, the demigods in the myth were gods before we gave them the title of demigod, such as Hercules, Heracles, you got Asclepius, and so forth. A lot of people in reality claim to be descended from gods, either because they wanted to look important as a leader, or their mother didn't know, we'll say, who the father was to the child. So they said she was impregnated by a god, and you're the son of Zeus, you're a son of Dionysus, you're the son of X, Y, and Z. Because I don't know who the dad is. That was the reality of it. And Seleucus also mentions that the gods do not procreate or have children because of what's mentioned before of having always existed. So any god that there is no such thing as a god that came after certain gods. They were all around at the same time. Now there could have been people, human mortals, that were super strong and went around claiming that they were Heracles, for example, and maybe that's where that myth came from, that there was someone once upon a time that was super strong, and legends spread about this person, and maybe they said, maybe people called him Hercules or Heracles, maybe he called himself Heracles, and that's where the idea of the demigod form came from. Just like they say about Asclepius, is that maybe there was someone that maybe there was an Asclepius that people thought he was the Asclepius, for example. But man and gods are two different things. They don't mix. That's like man and ape. They are similar in DNA, but we can't mix and breed with and have like Cornelius from the Planet of the Apes walking around, even though I know that's not how they became the intelligent apes in that series, without going on a geek rant. But yeah, so demigods, I don't believe they exist. And then when you have people today claim that they're gods, what do we think of? We think they're crazy, they're psycho. And a lot of people who claim to be gods end up being leaders of cults and dangerous people. So no, I don't think demigods are a thing. That we're two different things. Gods and man are two different things. Again, because I'm a huge follower of the works of Seleucus. His teachings are a huge influence on my spiritual life. And again, the myths are myths, which is why you don't see centaur bones, you don't see cyclops, you don't see satyr bones, and so forth. Pegasus, dead horses with Pegasus wings. There was a book I read, I can't remember the title off the top of my head, but they said that the reason why the myth of the satyr became a thing is because in the cult of Dionysus, that people would dress up in animal masks and dance and honor Dionysus, and a lot of people think that that's where the idea for the satyrs came from. Not because people actually, that satyrs actually existed and their bones just disintegrated over time. Anyway, guys, are my thoughts on demigods, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.